I have cherished the idea of a democratic and free society in which all persons will live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an idea for which I hope to live for. But my Lord, if it needs be, it is an idea for which I am prepared to die.
The legacy and the vision of great leaders live on in women and men driven by hope, enterprise, and a sheer will to conquer all adversity. The Equal Opportunity Foundation today, after 24 years, has supported more than 1,300 projects to the value of over 48 million rands, benefiting thousands across South Africa. In this period, there has been a steady growth in budget allocation as well as the number of projects undertaken. Past and current projects include education, skills development, health, income generation, and women's empowerment. Rural areas are the main focus for the following EOF programs. Any investment in our children's education is an investment in our future. Supporting HIV/AIDS programs is vital in light of the 3.5 million AIDS orphans in South Africa. The success of income-generating projects is a basis for economic growth. Despite ongoing development projects for the benefit of the rural poor and marginalized supported by both government and the private sector, there remain serious social and economic challenges for our people. Organizations like the EOF that strive for development goals through democratic partnerships with the relevant stakeholders in each project are still faced with serious poverty statistics. After Brazil, South Africa remains the country with the highest disparity in income in the world. This is the reason why the EOF is sustaining and intensifying its campaign of Ilima, which means Collective Community Help for the Poor. This campaign essentially focuses on effective partnerships striving for greater local community participation in helping the poorest among the poor. The ethos of Ilima is conveyed by the expression, "Come help us plow." One of the key merits of the EOF success story is the time spent to visit and provide hands-on support for each project. There is great emphasis on the partnership between the community we serve, the EOF board and its personnel and other relevant stakeholders. Some EOF projects have become successful businesses like the Siyavuselela Agricultural Project and the Tutukani Women's Project, which no longer require EOF support. Others require ongoing support and monitoring. Yet others are successes in the making. In each case, there is the unmistakable vibrance of entrepreneurship, the autonomy of ownership, and the pride of achievement. Hope and optimism in the most adverse conditions, inspired by more than just the innate drive to survive, but by the firm conviction that progress and prosperity lie not in receiving charity, but in entrepreneurship, self-reliance, and cooperation from, as opposed to dependence on, government and sponsors. The EOF is a facilitator in this process. In the interest of transparency, accountability, and efficiency, the EOF insists on implementing strict funding guidelines and procedures in its selection of projects, including proper documentation reflecting a beneficiary's NPO status, its constitution, financial statements, and minutes of meetings. This is why the EOF to date has an unblemished record of disbursing its funding with integrity, ensuring that all funds reach the intended beneficiaries. The early childhood development projects of the EOF are focused on the development of children between the ages of 0 to 6 years. EOF complements the efforts of communities, government, and other stakeholders. Therefore, EOF funding is designed to support the provision of infrastructure such as construction and renovation of buildings, the supply of essential equipment and training of the early childhood development educators. The EOF funded over 30 HIV/AIDS projects in the past 5 years, mainly in rural areas. The projects focused on home-based care, orphans, vulnerable children, and income generation through the provision of equipment, support, and by creating linkages. EOF has identified 2 flagship projects, namely the Masibambane Agricultural, Baking and Sewing projects situated 10 kilometers outside Umtata in the village of Mpindweni. This area is characterized by poverty and poor levels of health. Unemployment is estimated at 80% and the level of literacy is low. Infrastructure such as transport and communication are poor, and services like water and electricity supply are simple and basic. The women behind the Masibambane project are a testimony to initiative, resilience and dedication in entrepreneurship. Their challenges were not only financial and material. They also face social challenges in the form of prejudice and opposition from tribal men threatened by their progressive entrepreneurial spirit. The achievement of Masibambane is exemplary. The EOF has created a major breakthrough for the project with the supply of a large capacity advanced model electric oven that can produce 4,400 loaves of bread per day. This will enable Masibambane to supply bread to 8 more schools. The second flagship project is the DePaul Community Farming Project. This initiative is unique in that it represents the biggest investment of the EOF in a single project. Coinciding with the 21st anniversary of the organization, DePaul is at the initial phase of realizing an ambitious dream of rural women's empowerment. The project is located at Makwabe village, 67 kilometers from Marble Hall and Pulukwane, Limpopo province near the Lepelle River. Makwabe is home to about 50,000 households. Unemployment is estimated at 65% and the infrastructure in the area is sparse. Women are generally the heads of households since the men seek work in neighboring towns. The main economic activity in the area is subsistence farming. DePaul is mainly a 10 women income generating project started in 2001 with a vegetable garden aimed at job creation and poverty eradication. In 2004, the Masimula Tribal Authority allocated 6 hectares of land for the expansion of the project. This essential stakeholder intervention inspired an EOF involvement.
So in a real sense, the traditional leadership in the area has played a positive, active role in the acquisition of the additional land.
With a grant of over 435,000 rand, the EOF is investing in essential farming infrastructure, including a building for storage, sales and offices, as well as fencing, a greenhouse, an irrigation system, and electricity connection. Ultimately, DePaul is getting major funding from the EOF because it has the potential to successfully service an expanding market in fresh produce. The logic and philosophy of support for EOF is simple: placing resources in the hands of those with a proven track record for making a significant difference to the lives of the poorest South Africans. The EOF is proud to invite you to join us in building the vision of a South Africa based on equal opportunity. Support the vision and mission of the EOF. Come, help us plow.